I'm Leah Dyck, and I'm here to chat a little bit about my certification with Equine Connection. I'm going to read a few questions and answer them as we go along. So the first question is, actually, before I get to that, I actually would just like to share how thrilled I am to be able to build up, cheer on, give gratitude to Carrie and Carolyn from Equine Connection. They have been incredible people in my lives. I'm so blessed to have met them. They've opened incredible doors for me, and we'll chat about that as we go forward. But I am really, really grateful to be able to build them up and chat them up a little bit. And as I was considering, well, where should I shoot this video? It might be more interesting in the field with the horses. I thought, well, I'm going to do it from my office because this is exactly what they helped me create. This is where I spend a lot of my time now with my own clients, and I'm pretty grateful for that. So, question one, how long have you been running your equine assisted business, and what's the name of your business? So, I got certified with Equine Connection in 2015. Before that, I was running sort of on a smaller scale, some wellness and balance sessions with my horses. If you're interested in that, I'm happy to chat with you at a later date on what that is. But once I met them, they actually helped me create a whole new branch to my business. And that's what I do predominantly now. So that business is called Leah Dyck, Equus Attuned, and I have a signature program called Equus Empowered. So the second question is, what made you want to get certified in equine assisted learning, and what drew you to Equine Connection? So really at that time, I wanted to expand my current business. And I wanted to do it in a way that gives back to both horse and human, and in a way that is good for both. The Equine Connection had really good marketing. They caught my attention. They seemed very professional. They had all their programming, all of their ducks in a row. They had a whole business program, a business plan that as clients we could take home with us. They had a very genuine and authentic way of being that drew me very quickly. They could answer my questions, and they provided research. So those were some of the things that really initially drew me to them before I went for the certification. So the third question is, looking back on the certification or even the resources that I have available now, what pieces did you find the most helpful on your journey to creating your business? So they actually entirely facilitated the creation of this new aspect of my business. And I will touch on that again in some questions to follow. But ultimately, what really helped me were the support. So they give you personal one-on-one support. You can reach out at any time. Also, there's a lot of community support. They provided marketing info that was really helpful to me. And the learning of the facilitation skills was hugely beneficial to me, actually in all areas of my life. I do use it in my business, but I also use it with my kids, my family, people that I care about and want to interact with further. So that facilitation skill is pretty profound, even outside of the business. The next question is, can you describe a specific moment or experience during the certification that was particularly impactful for you? So for me, there's lots of moments, and I kind of had to narrow it down, but one moment really stood out, and I still remember it all these years later, is when we were in the classroom and we were doing some role play, and I got stuck really on how to respond to a particular scenario. And the advice from both Carrie and Carolyn was, always bring it back to the horse. And that has stuck with me for all these years later, because it's actually something that really resonates with me. That's been my experience throughout my life, that my horses really have been my mentors and guides. And when I bring it back to them, when I bring it back to what is the horse's perspective on this? How is the horse feeling about it? How would they participate in their own culture in this way? Really resonated. And so I use that in multiple areas of my business today as well. But I have to say, overall, the feeling that stood out to me is their collaborative nature and their growth mindset. So that was an overarching theme. I was able to learn from them and vice versa. These are people in Carrie and Carolyn that are always learning and growing and making both themselves personally better and higher versions of themselves, but also their business that filters right down into every one of their clients and facilitators also. So the next question is, let me just check it out. How has the community and guidance after certification help you as you started or grew your business? So I'm ultimately, the community and the guidance have been pivotal in the growth of my business. So again, I mentioned that collaboration and commitment to growth allowed me to grow my current business. So I left there after becoming certified with a business pack, a framework, and connections to whom I could ask questions, bounce ideas off of, collaborate with, continue to be mentored by. That's all the way from Carrie and Carolyn, all the way down to many of the other facilitators that have been certified, because I stay active as much as I can in the groups that are available to all of us. And so it's a great place to put out some questions, some thoughts, some ideas, and have some feedback come your way. So how is the support from Equine, they say equine, I say equine, connection, continue to help you as your business has grown is the next question. So that support has been pivotal. These are people that have become not only mentors to me, but also friends. If we live closer, I'd love to hang out more, but really people that I respect and admire. So that particular support, they are actually the facilitators of the current form of my business. I've mentioned that before, and I will get into it a little more deeply. But they are genuine and authentic people who mentor others, but they're also committed to growth. So they're also being mentored. So the leaders of Equine Connection offer support in ways that are very helpful to our own self-growth because they're continuing self-growth. And as their self-growth continues, they add that each one of their learnings into the information that we as facilitators have access to. They are always improving, tweaking, growing with the programs and the offerings that they provide. For me personally, they opened many doors for me. They've facilitated the growth of my own business, and they've opened their community to me. So how did we do that? That's sort of the next question. Is because you were certified with the Equine Connection, how did that step open up your business to see other paths that you need to take to complete your foundation of what you wanted your business to be? So I'm actually going to say they were directly responsible. So a little bit more about my initial story with Equine Connection and Carrie and Carolyn directly is that when I signed up for my certification in 2015, you all know how it works, a lot of you. There are generally small groups that start together. For one reason or another, everybody that was supposed to be in my group could no longer attend. So they actually gave me, at that time, it was the 5-day hands-on in person at the Equine Connection facility in Alberta that I took mine at. They actually gave me, it was a one-on-one for that whole 5 days. They kept the whole program open just for me, even though all the other people were unable to attend at the last minute. So there's some really incredible benefits to that for me. So I got a lot of course, the one-on-one, I could directly ask questions, and there was lots of time and space to work through things. And I really learned a lot from them, especially as I mentioned, of course, how to run the programs, how to run the business, and that big piece of facilitation that I took home with me to use in other areas of my life. But not only that, because they are so open-minded and collaborative and wanting to grow and be better, especially from the horse perspective, we actually were able to learn from each other. So I could share with them what I came into their arena knowing. And so that's a little bit of a specific niche for myself. And so we were able to share back and forth and learn so much from each other. And so much so that at the end of my certification, they actually asked me, do you have a course? Could we come learn some of these modalities from you? And I said, no, but I can develop one. So I went home and I did that. And they came and took my program. Had they not asked me for that, I wouldn't have even thought to develop any kind of course or programming from my own knowledge. And so I developed it. They came and they took it. And from there, they opened so many doors to me to share that knowledge with their community. So that was to in-person workshops, to presentations, to interviews, to podcasts, all areas that they opened up for me to share information with their other facilitators and the rest of their community. That is directly responsible to how I run my business today. They opened those doors for me and made me feel confident and welcome to really step into something that I'm very, very passionate about and potentially may not have put together on my own. So really grateful for that. So the next question is, what measurable results have you seen in your business since completing the certification? So for me, it was a complete overhaul of my business. So I went from offering at home some small, either one-on-one or small group wellness and balance sessions, to where I offered a few. I did go ahead and do a few of the equine assisted learning programs because I really believed in them and I really enjoyed running them and really liked them. But it actually helped me get even more clear on what I'm really passionate about, which is the wellness and balance sessions, which is studying horse culture, and offering some perspective to other equine facilitated learning professionals on how to incorporate horse culture into their already standing business even more fully. So it was a complete overhaul for me. It led to me being able to develop an online program, which opened up the whole world for me. So I have clients all over the world now, expanded that client base substantially, definitely increased my income. They really helped me increase my exposure, again, by opening up their community to me to be able to share this information with them. Certainly increased my confidence and the ability to expand into more offerings as I learn more and continue to share with the Equine Connection community, as well as the community that I've already built on my own as well. So a large result coming directly from having been taking the certification through Equine Connection. So I touched on this already just a little bit, but the question is, how did completing the certification affect your confidence and belief in your ability to succeed in this field? So there was a substantial increase in confidence for me from a few areas. So first of all, I learned skills. Again, that facilitation piece is huge. I learned some business running skills. I learned how to model my business around something that was already running very well for Equine Connection. So there's a lot of mentorship in there as well. They also offered all of those platforms. So I mentioned in-person podcasts, interview, video, presentations, for me to interact in. And like anything, all of those things are like a muscle. The more we use them, the stronger it gets. So I became more and more confident in speaking to other people, in making presentations, in offering programs. So again, directly attributed to Carrie and Carolyn and their generosity and collaboration and wanting to move forward in ways that are so good for both horse and human. If I were to give advice, this is the next question, to somebody thinking about getting certified through Equine Connection, what would you say? I would say do it. Do it. You will only be grateful for the learning, the new thought patterns, the skills, the connection with the horses, the like-minded community, the support, the guidance, and the opportunity that it all will open for you. That's true even if you don't do EAL fully and branch off like I did potentially. I would always recommend doing it. This is a very authentic program, academy, people, all filled with integrity. And they are really there to lift you up and support you and absolutely do the best for you and for your horses, which is a huge priority for me. So I would say do it. If you're thinking about it, there will be no regrets and you will only have gratitude for it. The next question is, what are your future goals for your equine assisted learning business and how do you think the certification will help you achieve them? So for me, I plan to keep learning and growing myself. That always allows me to develop new courses. I do plan to develop my own full certification based on my Equus Empowered program. And staying connected with Equine Connection really allows me to be both mentored and to continue mentoring myself. The certification itself also gives me all that confidence that we discussed, but it gives me some further credentials and it gives me further knowledge for my own clients. So the certification alone is very beneficial in building my business as I continue to go forward, both from the skills, but also the credentials. And the final question is, what makes your business stand out from others in the equine assisted learning field? And how did the certification help you develop this uniqueness? So for me, I stand out a little bit because I have an energetic exchange niche. That's where I operate the most. This is horse culture, and learning it can really help us apply these exchanges to already scheduled programs or as a standalone modality. The certification allowed me to know how programs are run, and this is so that I can be of greater service to other facilitators. So again, a large portion of my business is in assisting other facilitators to learn about horse culture, the energetic exchange between horse and human, how to identify it, and how to facilitate it, and the hows and the whys, which allows us to offer an extra level of self-insight to our clients that they take home with them as well. I find that Equine Connection is very open-minded, and they are always looking for what is in the best interest of the horse, and that is totally in alignment with me as well. So that's the end of all of these questions. I'm so grateful to have been connected at all with Equine Connection, with Carrie and with Carolyn, and their whole partnership of horses as well. I could only encourage you to move forward, ask questions with them. They will do their absolute best to be of service to you first and foremost. And they're going to always keep the well-being of your horses in mind. And that sets them aside from a lot of other certification programs. They're continually striving to make the experience better for the horses. And if it's better for the horses, it is better for everybody around, better for every being. So thank you so much. And if I can be of service to you in any way, I'm happy to answer any questions about Equine Connection or anything else that may have cropped up for you. Enjoy the day.